In this video, I'm going to be giving you your daily stimulus check and stimulus package update, as well as giving you the key details about the Heroes Fund, which would give premium pay to essential workers. Hi, I'm Erika. I'm a lawyer, and here are your updates. So this new $3 trillion bill that includes a second round of stimulus checks was passed by the House on Friday. This bill, called the HEROES Act, would still need to get passed by the Senate and then also signed into law by the President before we'd see any sort of second round of stimulus checks. The latest update on this front is that the Senate Republicans don't have any plans to unveil their own alternative to this $3 trillion bill. As far as timing, it seems like nothing substantive is actually going to happen this week since the senators will be heading home for Memorial Day recess. While Democrats want to get this bill signed into law as quickly as possible, the general Republican sentiment is that they still want to wait and see how the previous relief packages are performing. To this, House Speaker Pelosi said yesterday that we cannot take a pause. People are hungry, people are jobless across America. One positive thing is that it seems like the Democrats are willing to negotiate with the Republicans about what's actually included in this next relief package, and yesterday Pelosi said that they have no red lines. Now let's cover the Heroes Fund for Essential Workers. In the last video, you voted for which aspect of this $3 trillion bill that you wanted me to dive into further and give you a summary of, and this was the winner. I spent the weekend reading every word of that part of the bill for you so that you don't have to, so here are the key points. Just as an overview, the Heroes Fund for Essential Workers would provide essential workers with $13 an hour of premium pay on top of their normal pay. To be considered essential work, it has to meet 4 criteria. So number 1, it has to be performed between January 27th of 2020 and 60 days after the end of the illness. Number 2, it cannot be performed teleworking from home. Number 3, it has to involve either A, regular in-person interactions with patients, the public, or coworkers, or B, regular physical handling of items that were handled by or are going to be handled by patients, the public, or coworkers. And then number 4, it has to be in one of the following 33 areas. We would be here forever if I read you all 33 categories, but let's just go over some of the areas that are covered. So first responder work, healthcare work, family care, grocery work, restaurant work, which includes carry-out, drive-through, food delivery, transportation work, educational work, U.S. Postal Service work. Again, these are just a few of the categories, but if you want to read all 33 categories to see if you would be eligible, then I'll go ahead and leave the link to the bill in the description below and also the exact page number that you can go to. Next, let's talk about how it would work, timing, and then the max you could receive under the Heroes Fund. The way it would work is if your employer is qualified, then they would apply to get a grant so that they could pay each essential worker that they have the $13 per hour premium pay. It has to be on top of what you're already making. So if you're making $20 an hour, then with this $13 premium pay, you'd be making $33 an hour. There are additional rules to protect you. For example, the employer can't do anything like reduce your wages during that time. And then also on your pay stub, this premium pay has to be as a separate line item so that you can clearly see what you received with your normal salary and then what you received with this premium pay. For timing, this premium pay is going to be from January 27th of this year to 60 days after the end of the public health emergency. What this means for you is that it's going to be retroactive. So if this bill is signed into law, then as currently drafted, what it means is that once the employer receives the grant, they're going to have to give you all of the retroactive pay in one lump sum in your next paycheck. Just as an example, let's say that between January 27th and when the employer receives the grant, you've worked 100 hours, then 100 times the $13 of premium pay, that means in your next paycheck after your employer receives the grant, they'd have to give you an additional $1,300 on top of your normal pay for that retroactive payment. There is a cap to how much you could actually receive through the Heroes Fund as your premium pay. If you're making over $200,000, then the cap is $5,000. And then if you're making under $200,000, then the cap is $10,000. What this cap means is that when your employer is applying for this grant, let's say that they have 10 employees and all of the employees make under the $200,000 per year, then they can apply for $100,000. This grant can only be used by employers to pay their employees this premium pay. If they use it for anything else, that's going to be a violation. And then also any funds that they don't end up using to pay out this premium pay will need to be returned. One thing to note is that if you are an employer or you're an employee and think your employer is going to qualify for this grant, then it's important to really stay on top of these stimulus package updates. The reason I say this is because if this bill is signed into law, then employers should apply as soon as possible for these grants because these grants are going to run out. In the bill, there's even a section that says that once the funds are used up, the secretary has to report to Congress how many applicants got rejected because of lack of funding. The total funding for this HEROES Fund that I already described is $180 billion. And then there's also another $10 billion set aside for federal employees. If you want to stay up to date on stimulus checks and stimulus packages, then you can sign up for my new email list using the link below. And then of course, as always, I'm doing these videos on YouTube daily, so you can subscribe and hit the notification bell for this channel. If you want 2 free stocks from Webull, then sign up using my link below and deposit $100. That second free stock could be valued at up to $1,400. If this video was helpful, the best thing you can do for me is to hit the thumbs up button on this video. It really does help the channel out. And also in the comments, let me know if I haven't covered yours. Let me know which number you want me to cover next and take a deeper dive into. Next, I'll see you in the video where I give details about the second round of stimulus checks and how that would work. It's right here. See you there.